You're about to watch a replay of my 6-slide Trust Multiplier training. This framework is actually just one component of my deep specialization methodology. It's a methodology I've developed to help agencies become the recognized leader in their vertical market. My clients have used this methodology to double their close rates and scale their agencies predictably. If you're interested in learning how deep specialization could work for your agency, I invite you to book a no obligation 15-minute consultation with me using the calendar link below. Now let's dive into the 6-slide Trust Multiplier workshop. Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. We'll be about 1 more minute till we get started. We got a quick start. We got quick 20 minutes. Super excited to see everybody here. What's up, Deanna? What's up, David? What's up, Jason? What's up, Allison McCracken? What is up, Ton? Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Hi, Allison. What's up, Jason? Hello, 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 everybody. I'm gonna wait about another 30 seconds to jump in. While we're waiting, why doesn't everyone jump into, what's up, Ryan? Jump into the meeting chat and just type in where you're dialing in from. Where in the world are you dialing in from? I know we got folks from Europe, from all over the States. Where are you guys coming in from? I'm coming in from Los Angeles, California. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you, buddy. Denmark, Colorado. What's up, Jack? I know you, Allison. Yes, from Gilbert, out Arizona. What's up, David? What's up, Darren in Oklahoma? Orlando, Florida. What's up, Caitlin? Good to see you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Excited you guys are all here. People are still piling in. We got a lot of response from this. I'm super excited to share. Now, this is gonna be a really short 20 minutes, at least for me. It's gonna fly by for me. Hopefully, it will not be too fast for you. But I encourage everyone to grab a pen and a piece of paper. We're gonna be covering some really high impact tactics to help you to increase trust with your outbound sales. So let's jump into it. We got 20 minutes. We're gonna jump right in. So real quick about me, a lot of folks are here for my newsletter. Thank you for being a subscriber. And a lot of you folks are following me on LinkedIn. If you don't know much about me and my background, my name is Quinn, and I have 30 years in sales and marketing and leadership. I have specifically 18 years in the agency space. My last in-house role was as the chief marketing officer of a digital marketing agency called Scorpion. We grew the business from 20 million to 150 million in 6 short years. During that time, we took the number of clients from 1,000 clients to 14,000 clients. So we sold 13,000 clients during those 6 years. And so I have a tremendous amount of reps when it comes to sales, both being as a salesperson, as a sales leader, and as an executive. Today, I've stepped out of that in-house role as the chief marketing officer, and now I work directly with agency owners. My focus is to help agency owners become the go-to choice in their vertical market. I have a daily newsletter called the Deep Specialization Daily. I have a podcast where I interview agency owners. And then I have a best-selling book. It actually hit #1 today in Amazon. So my book is called The Anyone, Not Everyone. It is written for agency founders who want to escape founder-led sales. So that's about me. Let's jump into the material. I wanted to jump off by asking each of us to think about our own situation and answer this question, which is, how well does your sales team build trust with cold prospects? The emphasis is on the cold prospects. This is not prospects who maybe a best loved client sends you a referral and you have a sales conversation, or any other kind of warm referral. I'm talking about a cold prospect. Someone who's coming in to your sales conversation, maybe from a Facebook lead, someone who maybe you have no previous relationship with. They really don't know who you are. So if you were going to take your experience with building trust with cold prospects and rate yourself across a scale from 1 to 10, where maybe 1 is kind of the red zone, where you are kind of amateur hour, meaning you don't really understand how to build trust. You don't really do it that well. You kind of fumble through these kind of cold sales calls, or maybe you are in the sort of the 3 to 5 level where I call it dumb luck, where it's, you're able to build trust with a cold prospect, but it's only based on luck because maybe they happen to have a personality that you connect with, but it's random, right? No real rhyme or reason. Or maybe you're able to build some trust, but it's barely passable. You're not consistent. You're kind of good. Maybe you have some skills in this area, or maybe it's your competitive advantage. Where would you guys say, thinking about your own situations, thinking about the cold sales calls that you've been on, how would you rate yourself? And keep in mind that most of the people I talk with, they're somewhere in the 3 to 8 zone, right? So they're somewhere in the middle. Go ahead and jump into the meeting chat and put your number if you'd like. Love to see. So Allison's about an 8, Caitlin's about a 7, Justin's about a 4, Rhonda's about a 5, Todd's 5, Shane's a 3, Ton is 6, Darren. Okay, great. Well, the good news is that we're all here to improve this. We're here to build some skills and to help us to get a little bit further, build more skills and competency as it relates to building trust with these cold prospects. After all these 30 plus years of experience in sales, it's my belief, and it's really my experience, that in order to achieve record sales, that you must earn trust with every prospect by using a proven approach, right? I believe that you're here because you want to improve your sales. You want to have a record-breaking year in 2025. And a great way to do that is to build trust, to build the skills to be able to earn that trust with those cold prospects every single time. So before I share with you the 6-slide trust multiplier slides themselves, I want to give you some context about why this actually works. There is not one sale that happens in a transaction. It's typically 3 sales, okay? The first sale that happens is they have to, in the context of a selling agency services or other professional services, the buyer has to buy the person they're talking with. It could be you, the founder, or it could be a sales manager, or it could be a salesperson. Whoever that buyer is talking to, they really have to believe that that person that they're speaking with has their best interest in mind, is telling them the truth, is really selling them something that's going to be valuable to them, and not just, hopefully something that's going to get them a big commission. So you want to make sure that you're engineering a way for you're building trust with the salesperson that the buyer is speaking with. The second sale that has to happen is they have to buy the company. This buyer has to have a level of confidence or trust that if I send this company my money, that they're actually going to do what they said they're going to do. And hopefully they actually have the expertise that they tell me that they have, right? And so the third sale is the product itself. This is the sale that, hey, this specific product, this recommendation, this system, this program that this buyer is selling me on, it's actually going to do the things that this salesperson is going to do. And so it's when you can intentionally and with the system create trust across the salesperson, across the company, and across the product that you have a greater likelihood of closing the deal. Okay, is this all making sense, folks? Yep, okay. So here's how the typical sales conversation will happen. And this is in the context of, let's say, an outbound sales conversation or a cold sales conversation where you don't have that pre-existing relationship. Typically what happens is you start off with a high level of resistance. That's what the red line is. And the resistance is really what I call the no energy, right? This is the arms crossed. I don't want to talk to you. I'm just here to, get some data, and I don't really want to connect or interact. I'll tell you a quick story. My wife and I and my son, we went to one of those big Tesla showrooms, these big fancy malls here in Century City. There's a Tesla showroom. And we were in the Tesla showroom, and we got into the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, the Cybertruck is a very polarizing truck, right? Some people love it, some people hate it, but I think it's a pretty cool truck. In any event, we're sitting in the Cybertruck, And of course, across the showroom floor walks a Tesla salesperson, pokes his head in the Tesla as we're sitting in the driver's seat on the front row there. And what does he ask? Do you have any questions? Of course, we're like, no, we don't have any questions. We're just here to look, right? And so I think in any sales conversation, people are predetermined to have a high level of resistance. And that's definitely true when you're dealing with a cold situation, a cold call or a cold conversation. What we're trying to do in a sales context is we're trying to build up trust, right? We want to build up the yes energy. And what happens is at some point before a sale, there is a conversion. And this conversion is where the level of trust surpasses the level of resistance, right? That's where the arms get uncrossed and you start to get more of an interaction with the buyer. What happens in this zone before the level of trust gets greater than the level of resistance, what you typically get is this level of a transactional sale. Does anyone here know what I mean by a transactional sale? Like what happens in a transactional sales conversation? Any ideas? You want to drop it in the chat? What happens, right? What happens when you're talking to a prospect and they just don't want to really engage much, right? Just shopping around for quotes, says Lindsay, based on price. What's the price exactly, right? These prospects, they're guarded. They give brief responses. They give minimal details about their situation, about the consequences. They don't want to share sort of the real business problems. You know, they're here to just get enough information so that they can go away and compare you to your competitors, right? And so what we want to do is obviously we want to transform the conversation into a transformational sale. What is a transformational sale? That says transformational if you can't read it. Forgive my chicken scratch. Transformational sale is when they actually open up and they tell you the context of the problem that they're struggling with. You're able to help them in a more profound way because you're not just operating on tactics, right? You're trying to help them with a whole solution. Of course, with that comes more of a premium. You're able to charge more. You're able to provide better service and better value, okay? So what these 6 slides I'm about to train you on here in the next couple minutes, the impact of this effectively is to reduce the amount of time it takes to get to this conversion, right? So you want to reduce the amount of time that you're dealing with the arms crossed to the point where they're actually connecting with you and really providing the real context for the sale. So the point of this whole thing is to build the trust, to have that conversion where the resistance is level of trust supersedes or it is greater than the level of resistance, okay? So I'm assuming the fact that you're on this sales call or on this training is that you have a 2-step sales process, at least something around this, where it's not where your buyer comes to your website and just buys a product straight off your website, right? There is some kind of sales call. Typically in that sales call, there's a discovery. You get information about the business and then you go away, you create a solution, you come back and have a secondary proposal call. It may be a 2-step process, maybe a 3-step. Where the trust is really built is in the discovery call, okay? It is clear when you have a proposal call and they don't show up, you've not built enough trust, enough credibility, right? And so we're gonna dive into this first step in the sales process in the discovery call for these 6 slides. Specifically, in a typical sales discovery call flow, so the first call you have with them, you have something along the lines of 3 steps. Number 1 is you open up the call with rapport. What is rapport? It's, hey, how's it going, Dan? Where are you calling from? What's the weather? You know, those type of small chit chat. Then you typically, what you see is people going straight into uncovering. Tell me about your business. Tell me about how many leads you want to get, or that new house you want to buy. Tell me about what's going on there, right? That was for you, Allison, because I see you there. And then after you ask all the questions and you're uncovering, you go to next step. Sounds great. let's set up a meeting so I can come back to you with a great proposal to kind of share with you our strategy to help you to solve the problems. And of course, in this typical sales flow, first off, does this look familiar? Does this kind of generally follow the same? Yeah, right. So if you see that, if this is typically your sales process, put yes in the chat. This is very, very common. This is how most people train you on how to do sales in the agency space. What I'm going to recommend is that you put a baby step right in between the rapport and the uncovering. Okay. That is where you're going to add these 6-slide trust multiplier. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's get into the 6 slides. Okay. So here they are. It is a total of 6 slides. It's not 7 slides. It's not 2 slides. It takes about 10 minutes to go through this. Here's what each slide does and what it is. First off, you start off with the agenda. You open with rapport and then you move right to the agenda. Hey, Dan, thanks for jumping on the call. Where are you from? What's the weather like? That's great. Here's the agenda for our call, right? You get this in Sandler's sales training. A lot of sales methodologies train on sharing an agenda. It is really important because it does a couple things. Number one, it helps the buyer to build trust in the salesperson. All of a sudden, the buyer, who may have a high level of resistance, will know what to expect on the sales call. They'll also know that the salesperson is a professional, right? They're not just kind of winging it and kind of making it up as they go. There's actually a plan and a path that they're providing. You also build trust in the company itself. And I'm looking at the time, so we got to pick up the pace here a little bit. The second slide is the credentials. What are credentials? These are the proof points or the data points that help substantiate that you are an expert in solving their specific problems. Specifically, you want to have credentials about the salesperson on the slide, as well as the company. Things like years in the business, number of clients you've worked with, awards you've won, average client results, associations you're involved with. For the salesperson, what makes them a credible person to be talking to from a buyer's perspective? How many years of experience do they have? What trainings have they taken? What is their experience that's going to add value to the buyer? Okay, that's the second slide. The third slide is the 3 problem slide. This is a big one, guys. When you are a vertical market specialist, this is something that I work with my agency clients on. You become very familiar with 3 big problems that pretty much every client comes to you with. What you want to do in slide 3 is you want to tell them the 3 problems that people come to you for, right? So it's along the lines of, hey, Ton, we work in working with attorneys, personal injury attorneys for the last 5 years. We know that we see these people come to us with these 3 problems over and over again. Now, the magic in that is that you're not asking them what their problems are. You're stating, hey, we're experts in these 3 problems. We solve these problems for clients just like you. It's much more powerful to do that. And when you do that, you are building trust in the person and in the company and in the product. Slide number 4 is your 3-part system. The 3 parts are, you probably guessed it, it is the inverse of the 3 problems you solve. This is not a 15-slide breakdown of all your SEO tactics or your social media marketing tactics. These are a high-level overview of your philosophy, your approach, your system that solves those 3 problems that you are the expert in solving. This will build trust in the product and in the company. The next slide is a client success story. Someone who came to you, like probably the buyer in their before state, came to you with one of these 3 problems. You ran them through your 3-part system. And as a result of that, they've achieved great results, right? They've bypassed the problems and they're at the sort of the better state. Okay. 1 slide client success story. This builds trust in the company and the product. And then the last slide is the transition into the discovery. Tell me about you. Okay. And this builds trust, again, in the salesperson and in the company and in the product. Okay. That's it. That's the 6-step trust multiplier. You add this ahead of the discovery and you will boost the trust. From a timing perspective, I'm gonna jump right into the results of using this. The principles in this formula, in this 6-slide trust multiplier have been used by 60 salespeople who brought in 600 deals per quarter. About half of those were from outbound. So about 300 per quarter. So what does this mean? This means that if you have a sales team that you want to implement this process, that it is implementable. It is not dependent on the founder to run this. It is a repeatable system to run this, these 6 slides. We had 60 salespeople running this play, predictably. It was great. I also have been able to train this to my clients. One of my clients, as a result of implementing this, went from a 13% close rate to a 27% close rate as a result of implementing this. This client is a founder-led sales motion, so it was a smaller agency. This stuff works. Okay, couple quick lessons and then we'll wrap it up. First lesson is that you can engineer trust. You don't have to leave it to chance, all right? All you need are these 6 slides and 10 minutes. What I want you to do as a next step is I want you to audit your sales process. And I want you to look for what I call trust gaps. A good signal that you have a trust gap is that you have buyers who are not giving you any good information about their situation, right? They're just giving you, they're just asking you questions. They're not answering your questions, right? All of those things are trust gaps. And then I want you to test these 6 slides in your sales process and see how that can shorten or reduce or eliminate those trust gaps. All right, I want to keep my promise to the group here, 20 minutes, 22 minutes. Thank you everyone for coming. We'll talk soon. Bye.